What is the number one deal killer when it comes to real estate transactions here on the Big Island? What is the best thing you can do to sell your home right now? And I'll give you a market update. All coming up next. Hey everyone, Dan Polimino here with the mid-month market update, and I will start with the market update. You know, it's really an interesting scenario of numbers here. When I look at the numbers for April, it's telling me that 40 to 52% of all active properties had one or more price reductions. That's interesting, right? Because listen, we all know that the market's not great. It's not great here. It's not great on the mainland, and we know that people are reducing prices. Here's where it gets confusing. While the number of transactions are down, the dollar volume is up. And so you scratch your head and you say, well, how could the dollar volume be up if 50% of the people are reducing their price? And here's the answer. So what it's saying is that the people who put their home on the market started off too high to begin with. I mean, really too high, right? And so they've had to reduce the price in order to get back into the market rate or the mainstream. They're reducing the price to get, what it really should sell for. But even that number that it is selling at after they've reduced it is higher than last year's sales numbers. So all of that said, even though there's price reductions, there's still appreciation going on in parts of the island. And that's why the dollar volume is up, even though people are reducing the price of their homes and transactions are down. I hope that makes sense. Okay. What's the number one deal killer here for real estate transactions on the Big Island? You're probably not going to guess this, but here it is. It's inventory. Yeah, it's the furnishings, right? Here in Hawaii, the majority of the properties that we sell, I'd say like 95%, because we do a lot of second homes, we do a lot of short-term vacation rentals, and we do a lot of people who have just decided to move back to the mainland. And there's no point in attempting to ship your furnishings back to the mainland. It's just too expensive. So most of the properties here are all sold fully furnished. This is entirely normal. So one of the things my team does is goes in and does inventory. And we present to the buyer, and there's a section in our contract where we have so many days to present to the buyer the inventory list, what's being included and what's being excluded. This is where we run into a problem. You can't imagine how many fights happen between buyer and seller about stuff that's not being included, that should be included, stuff that the buyer wants, that the seller doesn't want to give up, stuff that the seller wants to take and doesn't want to give to the buyer. I mean, it goes on and on and on. And then I end up being a really high-priced referee. And it's ugly. And I don't really get it. I don't really understand it. Now, don't get me wrong. I always tell sellers, listen, if there's stuff that has emotional meaning, attachment, sentimental value, it's been in the family for years, by all means, take it with you and put it on the exclusion list. But the rest of your furniture that you have here is maybe 50 cents on the dollar. And all the sellers think it's worth a lot more than it really is, but it's maybe worth 50 cents on the dollar. And so it doesn't make sense to move it. And it doesn't make sense to try to squeeze more money out of the buyer for it. Just leave the furniture with the place. And that includes the cups, the plates, the knives and forks, the utensils. Leave it all and move on with your life. But a lot of fights happen and a lot of deals are killed by inventory, fights about inventory. Now, here's the other thing that happens. When I take a listing, I go in and I take a look at all of the furnishings. And as a general rule, most people have 35% too much stuff. Too much stuff. We all have too much stuff and you can't see the property. And so one of the things that I do is I bring my stager in and we start figuring out what we're eliminating, what we're taking out. What can we do to open up the place so we can really see the house and not the stuff? And I've done this for a long time. I know exactly what to get rid of. I know exactly what shows well, and so does my stager. And then I give recommendations to the seller about what they should do. And generally, there's some type of fight, argument, discussion that ensues about why they think I'm wrong or why they think the stager's wrong. And we should absolutely keep that coffee table because it cost a fortune and it's gorgeous. And it may have been 20 years ago, but it's not now. And so inventory and people's furnishings. Listen, I get the fact that everyone is attached to their stuff, but it's just stuff. And you got to get over it and you got to let it go. Unless it has some emotional or sentimental or family value, just let it go, as they say in the movie. Okay, so that's the number one deal killer here in real estate in the Big Island. The next thing is, what is the best thing you can do to sell your home? And it starts back with a story I had for a guy that I was representing who was selling a home for $19 million. And we met with him and we gave him our proposal and we talked about our system and we talked about our models. And he hands me the keys and he says, call me when you get a contract. I was like, what? Really? You don't want any updates? You don't want to talk regularly? You don't want to want me to run anything by you? Nope. Call me when you have a contract. And what a gift he gave me in that scenario, because what it did is it allowed me to do what I know how to do best, right? Which is sell homes. It allowed me to run my systems, my models, and do things the way that I want to do them without somebody looking over my shoulder, questioning me or micromanaging me. It was an amazing gift. And I said, are you sure you don't want me to consult with you on anything? He said, if you call me, that means you have an offer. And if you have an offer, that means you did a great job. I'll never forget that. So the rule here, the lesson for all of us is, if you hired the right real estate agent and team, you can take your hands off the wheel. There's nothing you need to do. If you've hired the right people, if you trust them to run their systems and models and do their thing, then just take your hands off the wheel and say to your agent, call me when you get an offer. I'm telling you, those have been my most successful transactions in all the years. And the ones that don't go smooth are the people that want to micromanage the entire process. Just being honest. Okay, so for whatever that's worth, we'd love to hear from you. We've got some amazing specials coming up for June, July, and August with Big Island Stays. So if you're looking for a short-term vacation rental, check us out at bigislandstays.com. We're running a 12% off promotion right now, so check it out. We'd love to have you and love to see you. And if you ever want to talk about anything, contact me here at the Hawaii team. Call me on my cell phone, 808-987-3306, 808-987-3306, or check us out at thehawaiiteam.com. And until we talk again, aloha.